we have force F here, has an angle of theta that mixed with the x-axis. So we'll go and resolve this force into x and y components and calculate the value for each one of them. So this will be the x component, and this will be the y component. Let's call the f component fx and y component fy. So we need to calculate the value for x component fx and the value for fy. So we'll use the theta to achieve this task. So let's go back again to put the forces in their triangular shape. So we'll have, this is the x component and this is the y component. And let's run the parallel lines to each one of them. So this will be the parallel to the x component, and this will be the parallel to the y component. And of course the force itself is connecting between this point and this point. This is F. Of course these are this is Fx and this is Fy. Because they are parallel, so this will be also Fy and this is also Fx. And of course we don't want to forget the angle theta here. So we're trying to get the angle which is Fx and Fy. So let's go ahead and do that. Back again to, this is Fx and this is Fy. So Fx and this is Fy, and of course the force itself. F. And of course we would like to make sure this is theta, because this will play an important role. So now to analyze this, to be able to calculate the value of the x component, which is Fx, and the y component, which is Fy, we'll start to explore the sine and cosine. So if we put cosine theta is equal to the adjacent, which is Fx, divided by the value of f. Now if, like we said, we are in the business of calculating the value of fx, so we'll isolate fx, then fx will be equal to f multiplied by cosine theta. Now for sine theta, because we'll be using sine theta to get the value of fy. So sine theta here in this case will be equal to the opposite, which is the force Fy, divided by the hypotenuse, which is F in this case. So again we isolate Fy is equal to the force F multiplied by sine theta. So this is what I would like to get at the end. And having said so, I could say I'll make this to be rule 1, that is for the x component of a force. When we can get the force to be in a triangular shape, the x component will be always force multiplied by the cosine of the angle theta, and theta is always the angle between the x-axis and the force. And same thing goes for the value of y component in this case, Fy, and Fy will be equal to the force itself multiplied by sine theta. And again I repeat, and this is very important to keep in mind, theta is the angle that the force makes with the x-axis. So always try to get that value, and then once you get that value, you don't need to think much. Just the x component is force multiplied by the cosine theta, and the y component Fy will be the force multiplied by sine theta.